The cutting edge is fully dumped, skimming hard-packed gravel with both curl cylinder rods shining in the sun. Then it catches a buried concrete lip, the bucket stops dead, and one smooth-up pass becomes a loader repair question. I'm Caleb Miller, and behind the equipment counter, I learned that the bucket angle owners call safer is only safer in the right material and direction. So what separates the harmless pass an old hand has made for years from the position that can load a curl cylinder the wrong way? This is about the backdragging position that can bend loader cylinders, but it is not a warning against every backdragging pass you will ever make. I am going to separate routine loose soil leveling from the damaging load case by following the bucket angle and cylinder extension. Travel direction and ground resistance change the force path. By the end, you will have a condition-based way to choose a safer sequence before a smooth-up job becomes a loader problem. That distinction matters because a clean-looking pass can hide a bad match between the tool and the surface. The bucket position may look familiar, but travel direction and whatever waits under the edge decide where the force goes. From the seat, a fully dumped bucket can look like the efficient answer. The cutting edge is down, the gravel looks ready to shave flat, and one long scrape seems faster than making several lighter passes. Machinery lasts longer when the force path matches the job, not when one familiar bucket position gets used on every surface. On loose soil, the material can roll and yield ahead of the cutting edge. A bucket in the permitted dump position can level that loose material, while the loader follows the contour the way the machine's procedure allows. On packed gravel, the edge may start trying to cut rather than merely smooth, often leaving gouges and ridges that require another pass to repair the finish. That first rung matters because it creates the habit that leads toward the expensive one. The operator sees a high spot and presses harder because the bucket appears to be doing something useful. But hard-packed gravel does not always move like loose soil, and the cutting edge can become a pry point instead of a finishing tool. Experienced operators are right when they say they have backdragged for decades without bending a cylinder. That field experience matters because it proves the maneuver itself is not automatically destructive. If experienced operators can backdrag for decades without bending anything, why does the same familiar bucket position carry a manufacturer warning in another direction of travel? The answer starts down at the curl cylinders, not at the cutting edge. With the bucket dumped, the chrome curl cylinder rods are extended farther from their glands, while the bucket linkage and pin bosses sit in a geometry that changes how a ground force returns through the loader. The farther that rod is extended under compression, the less forgiving it becomes when the load stops being straight. Think of the rod like a long fence post being pushed from the top. A short post can take a straight push more comfortably, while a longer post becomes easier to deflect if the push arrives crooked. Rod diameter and its extended length matter when compression is involved. The cylinder mounts and alignment through the linkage matter too. That is why the visible rod deserves attention during this job. The gland supports and guides the rod, while the pins are meant to let the linkage move through its intended arc. When the bucket loads unevenly, or when one side catches before the other, the rod and its bearings may see side loading instead of the straight push they handle best. I used to hear this concern reduced to hydraulic pressure, and that explanation leaves too much out. Pressure alone does not explain why rod length and mounting geometry can change the risk. Alignment can change it at the same moment. Deflection and side load can as well. A cylinder can be under force without being abused, but an extended rod pushed out of line has a different problem than a rod moving cleanly through its designed travel. The operating procedure itself draws a narrow line. A bucket in dump position may level loose soil, while boom float lets the loader follow the contour. That is permission for a specific surface and movement, not a blank check for every fully dumped pass. Subscribe for practical machinery breakdowns that separate a useful technique from the condition that turns it into a repair risk. The next distinction is direction, and this is where shop talk advice gets flattened into one rule. The same operating guidance that allows loose soil backdragging warns against pushing forward with the bucket fully dumped because bucket cylinder damage may occur. That is not a contradiction. It is a different direction of force through the same linkage. When the tractor reverses over loose material, the bucket can draw material along while the surface gives way. When the tractor pushes forward with the bucket fully dumped, The cutting edge can bite and resist travel in a way that drives force back through the dumped linkage. The same bucket position means less by itself than the direction the machine is traveling and the resistance waiting under that edge. This is where float gets too much credit. Boom float lets the loader arms follow the surface instead of holding a fixed height, but it does not control the curl circuit. On hard ground, the practical finishing setup shifts toward a level bucket with boom float, so the edge rides the contour instead of gouging it. Float does not independently protect the curl cylinders from every bad load. It does not erase compressive force in an extended curl rod or cure poor alignment. An immovable obstacle still does not become loose soil. It changes the boom's movement, while the bucket angle, and whatever the cutting edge contacts, still decide much of the curl cylinder load path. Picture the same gravel lane with the bucket closer to level and the float detent engaged. The bucket can ride the contour instead of digging every hard ripple, and the finish may take more patience. That slower-looking pass can keep the cutting edge from acting like a blade trying to force its way through a road base. What changes in the split second when a cutting edge that has been skating over loose material finds something underneath that will not move? The bucket hesitates first. If the tractor keeps moving, the edge becomes the contact point, and the bucket tries to rotate upward. That reaction travels through the bucket shell and linkage, then reaches the pins and curl cylinder rods. A hard catch can create torque that pushes the bucket upward, which is a much different event than a bucket calmly carrying loose soil across the surface. Nothing in that brief hitch proves a cylinder has bent. There is no universal bucket angle or rod extension mark that divides safe from damaged across every loader. The same is true of travel speed and force number. But the visible ingredients tell you when a routine pass is becoming a condition worth avoiding. Dumped geometry and extended rods. Hard resistance matters when force no longer travels straight through the linkage. The temptation is the one-pass grading impulse. A driveway looks rough. The bucket is already on the tractor, and the fastest-looking move is to force it to cut and pull the whole surface into a finished grade from one position. That impulse turns a loader bucket into the wrong tool, when the work needs aggressive cutting or pulling rather than light smoothing. A box blade or land plane sitting nearby changes the decision before anything fails. Those tools are meant for grading work that asks the machine to cut and pull material across a hard surface, while the loader bucket remains useful for moving material and making lighter finishing passes. Buying or hooking up the right implement can feel slower at the start, but it avoids asking the exposed curl rods to settle an argument with buried gravel. The highest risk case arrives when several conditions stack together. The bucket is fully dumped with the curl rods extended, and the tractor is pushing the edge against hard resistance. A buried rock or root can stop the bucket unevenly. A stump can do the same, as can a concrete edge or packed catch. Add shock or side loading as the bucket twists against that obstacle, and the curl cylinders or other loader components can see the kind of torque and compression event that makes damage plausible. That does not mean damage is inevitable, and it does not mean every old hand who uses a dumped bucket is doing something reckless. It means the risk rises when the bucket cannot yield because the material cannot move. It also rises when the linkage is already sitting in a less forgiving extended geometry. The hard catch is the peak of the problem because it changes the job from smoothing a surface into asking the loader to absorb a sudden stop. So the long-running disagreement finally separates into two different maneuvers. Ordinary loose material backdragging under the procedure for your machine is not the same as forcing a fully dumped bucket against hard ground, especially when the rods are extended and the cutting edge can catch. Bucket and curl geometry, rod extension, travel direction, surface yield, float's limited role, and the chance of an immovable catch-all belong in the decision. The bounded verdict is simple. Backdragging is legitimate loader work, but do not push forward with a fully dumped bucket, and do not treat boom float as a cure for a bad curl cylinder load path. Use the relevant operator manual as the controlling guidance for your loader and bucket on that surface. For smoothing, start with the bucket position and float procedure specified for the machine and the ground you are working. Keep only the rollback angle the job needs, make lighter passes when the surface resists, and stop trying to force a loader bucket to do aggressive grading when a box blade or land plane is the better match. That is the right order. Surface first, bucket geometry next, then the implement that can carry the work. The bucket now rests closer to level on the gravel, following the lane in a slower and quieter pass. The cutting edge is still doing useful work, but it is no longer trying to cut every packed ridge it sees. The job may take longer than the one-pass scrape, yet the loader is working with the ground instead of waiting for the ground to win. What grading job has made this bucket position distinction matter on your own property? And with what loader and surface? A loader lasts longer when the job is matched to the force path, not just the result that looks fastest from the seat. The right order is to choose the surface and bucket position first, then the implement, before the machine has to absorb the mistake.